Hi everybody, Christine Furtado here. Come on and say hi. I'm just going to put up my volume here. So good morning. Welcome to Cup of Joy with Christine. Normally this is 6 a.m. Cup of Joy with Christine, but today I decided to do a little bit later, and I wanted to wish all my Canadian Facebook friends a happy Thanksgiving. So today's Thanksgiving for us. I'm here in Canada as well, and we're off today, so I wanted to do this video a little bit later. So for those of you, welcome, good morning, and say hi in the comments and where you're from. I would love to know where you're from. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Christine Furtado. I'm a professional accountant and financial coach, and I help business owners to create massive success and profitability in their business. And I'm on a mission to help 1 million business owners to do this, to know their numbers, understand their numbers, so they avoid those sleepless nights and unwanted surprises that I see a lot of business owners going through. So today I wanted to talk about a topic of the 5 things that successful business owners know about their finances. And I know the reason this is such a hot topic for me, and I'm so passionate about it, first of all, I'm a professional accountant, but I'm also a business owner and entrepreneur online myself. And I see that gap where a lot of business owners, they make that 6 or 7 figure income only to quickly lose it because they don't know their numbers and they don't know how to keep that. So that's why I'm so passionate about that. So today I thought I'd talk about the 5 things that successful business owners know about their finances. So the number 1 thing is they have a plan. So they have a business plan, they have that roadmap. Some people call it a budget, some people call it a spending plan, all the same thing. But basically it's a roadmap on where it is that you want to end up, where it is that you want to go. It's kind of like traveling, and what's your destination. And then they work backwards on how that looks like for a monthly basis and a weekly basis and even a daily basis. So super, super important. So that's the first thing, is they have a plan. The second thing is they make more than they are spending. So they understand their revenue, they understand their spending, and again, based on the roadmap on where they want to go on that plan, they work backwards and make sure that they know those numbers and their sales. What does that look like? How many clients do they need to have? So really, really super important. The third thing that they also know is how to read their financial statements. And one of the big thing with my clients and the programs that I offer is I teach you everything how to do this. So your financial statements, 2 of the financial statements that are really important, obviously your P&L, which is profit and loss, also known as the income statement. So, a lot of it is understanding these terms. Also the balance sheet and what that is, and knowing those numbers. So understanding your financial statements. So that's another thing that successful entrepreneurs do. Now, I'm just covering here today the very, very top level. I will have other videos that I'm creating that are specifically on how to read a financial statement and how to read a P&L. So I'm going to go into more details in those videos, but for today, we are just going to cover the top level. So watch for that. If you're watching this on Facebook, please put in the comments where you're from. And also, I would love to hear what are your challenges as a business owner when it comes to finances. I know a lot of people, when I just mention that word, people run the other way. And that's my mission, is to, help people to really make it a sexy thing, make financials a sexy thing, and, not run the other way, but really be passionate about knowing your numbers and your business, because this is yours and this is for you to know. So that's the third thing, is to, understand how to read your financials. And the fourth thing is tracking and record keeping. Now, depending on the size of business, if you're a small business owner and just starting out, likely you will do this yourself, or you could actually hire a bookkeeper to track all the expenses on a minimum weekly basis. I'm very, very big on that. Definitely do not put everything in the box and give it to your accountant at the end of the year. A big, big no-no. You need to be knowing your numbers on a weekly basis at the very, very minimum. Knowing them once a year, that is why businesses fail. So I'm here to help you to avoid that situation. So you need to be tracking and having your expenses and all your numbers being tracked on a weekly basis at a minimum. So like I said, if you're really small and starting out, you're likely going to be doing this yourself. So you can actually do this either on a spreadsheet, a Google Sheets, or Excel, or you can also have your own accounting software. And there's a lot of them out there. I personally use QuickBooks. My business is predominantly online, but I also run a consulting business. It is all under the same umbrella. So I use QuickBooks Online, and all my banking goes straight to my QuickBooks, really, really easy, just to balance and to track. So you can also hire a bookkeeper. But the key is you can't just rely on that bookkeeper. You need to understand what they're doing to make sure they're doing it correctly and that it all makes sense. So really, really super important to track. And then the fifth thing is to review your results on a weekly basis on a minimum. As you scale your business, so what I usually do is just pick a day. What I recommend to all my clients is pick a day that is kind of like your off day where you don't have as much things to do, or pick a day that is not really a business day. And if you do it on a weekly basis, it really literally won't even take you more than an hour to review, or not even that if you're doing it weekly. And if you know your numbers regularly and working closely with your bookkeeper, this is not going to be a really big task. And you'll want your bookkeeper to be tracking all this stuff regularly as well, so that when you do sit down, that the results are ready for you to look at, and you'll just have to communicate that to them. I have other videos where I talk about the top 5 numbers that you need to know in your business. So you'll want to, if you're interested in this, put top 5 numbers in the comments, and I will forward you a video. I put the link for a video with regards to that, if that interests you. Or if this all interests you, please feel free to put a comment yes in the comments, and I will connect with you, or you could PM me if you're on Facebook, or put a comment if you're on YouTube. I will also put a link here how you can actually connect with me on my website, which is christinefurtadoenterprises.com/contact. When you go to my website, there's also a pop-up that will say let's chat, so feel free to book a time. I'm available to that. Like I said, I'm super passionate about helping business owners to know their numbers and understand their finances so that they avoid those sleepless nights and unwanted surprises. So really, really important. So like I said, number 5 was reviewing your results weekly. And all of this is really super important, because my belief is when you're prepared, at least the opportunity, and when you know your numbers, you know that you're running a successful business. And if you're starting to dip for whatever reason, if your revenues aren't coming in, at least you'll be able to react to that and be proactive in that. And there's a lot of other things that go with this. I believe in looking at your financials on a trend basis, which I also explain in another video. So if all of this is interesting to you, please feel free to connect with me again, christinefurtadoenterprises.com/contact, and you can also book a time on the Let's Chat pop-up that comes up. So let's just recap really quickly the top 5 things that successful business owners know about their finances. And so the first thing is they have a roadmap. They have that business plan written out. They know exactly where they want to end up at the end of the year, and they work backwards on a weekly. So have that. Number 1 is having that business plan. Number 2 is to know that you have to make more than you're spending. Really, really important. So revenue is really important, but so is profitability, and just basically understanding all your numbers. Number 3 is learning how to read the financial statements, which there's typically 3 financial statements. 2 that are really important. The other one is important as well, but these are really, really key. So P&L, which is your income statement. P&L means profit and loss, which is also known as the income statement. The balance sheet, and then also the cash flow statement. So those are your 3 key financials. And again, I teach my clients, and I go in depth with some of my programs on how to do this. I'm all about making financials easy. So it's really super important not to make this difficult. We make it more difficult than we is. I don't want you to run away from your financials ever again. So stick with me on this. So that's number 3, is reading your financial statements. Number 4 is tracking and booking your numbers on a weekly basis. And number 5 is results and reviewing them on a weekly at a very minimum. Now you'll find that when you start to scale, if you're going beyond the 6 figures into the 7 or multiple 6 figures, or as you scale at every stage of your business, you're going to want to definitely look at some of your numbers on a daily basis, especially your sales, and you'll want to have someone tracking that for you. You can track it yourself as well, but the more that you can leverage and delegate, but still get all the results that you need, the most important thing. And the key with all this is preparation leads to opportunity and organization, and avoiding those sleepless nights. So that's what I'm all about. So if this has resonated with you and you found tons of value, please feel free to share it out with your friends and your other colleagues and business owners that you know would get some value from this. And if this all resonates and you'd like to learn more, please feel free to connect with me at ChristineFurtadoEnterprises.com, and I'll put the comments above and below if you are watching YouTube, above if you're on Facebook, and feel free to connect with me. So important. In the meantime, know your financials so that you avoid those sleepless nights and unwanted surprises. And we'll talk to you soon. Join me every week, every Monday, Thursday at 6 a.m. normally for 6 a.m. Cup of Joy with Christine. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Talk to you soon.